As AOC goes on vacation, Sotomayor spreads disinformation. Yeah, just days after living it up, maskless at a bar in South Beach. New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tested positive for the coronavirus. Well, who could have predicted that? Her office says she's experiencing symptoms and recovering at home. They also reported she's suffering from confusion and incoherent speech, but that has nothing to do with COVID. Now, if you'll remember, she blamed the criticism she faced on Republicans' deranged sexual frustration and being mad that they can't date her. Yeah, that's why. So maybe COVID infected her out of jealousy. Who knows? Now you have to stay 6 feet away, perverts. But doctors recommend staying so far away you can't hear her either. So, from our clueless Cupid to a justice who's just plain stupid. Last Friday, during a hearing on Biden's vaccine mandate, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor said, quote, "We have over 100,000 children, which we've never had before, in serious condition, and many on ventilators." Well, that's not true. It's not even close. And we have no idea where she got that crazy number. What's scary, that lady is a Supreme Court justice, yet it appears she has the BS detector of a cat lady who thinks astrology is a science. But not to be outdone, Justice Breyer claimed masks and vaccines would prevent all cases of COVID. This when the masked and vaccinated are seeing more breakthrough cases than the southern border. But it just goes to show you that just because someone wears a robe, it doesn't make them smart. Well, unless it's a shorty robe on a Saturday night. And Hemmer's heating up the hot tub. Yeah. Sorry, Corey, I lost my train of thought. No one here is dunking on AOC because the fact is the left love to dunk on unvaccinated people for getting COVID and getting sick or dying, but we're not doing that. We know that you can get it wherever you got. That's not our point. But what is interesting is why do they all go to Florida?
Well, because Florida is America. I mean, look, we have all the freedoms down there. So my question, though, is how is this going to turn out for her? Because I think that her original, theory was, I'll go down to Florida. I think that she wanted to be seen, which is why she was being so public. And she was going to come back and then spread this disinformation that, oh, I went to Florida, and because they're so, unprotected, I ended up getting COVID. Now, the question, though, is that does that backfire on her?
Right.
While she may say, oh, I went to Florida and I got COVID, what she also has to say is that I'm triple vaxxed. And it still didn't stop from me being able to get this, which means that I'm just as protected unvaxxed as you are vaxxed. So, again, I think this is going to backfire on her massively with her whole scheme, but it was certainly not about her boyfriend's feet and all about politics.
Yes. And I will say this. I'm one of the few conservatives who felt that his feet were attractive. I know nobody wanted to say that at the time, but I looked at his toes and I said, that's an elegant man's foot, Kat.
All right, good. Glad you found some happiness.
I did. I have some photographs I'd like to show you later of his foot that I blew up to the size of a full-length mirror that I like to just crawl all over.
Okay.
You know what? I expect, Kat, my Supreme Court justice to be smarter than your average fifth grader. But she's as dumb as Don Lemon. I mean, come on. Where did you get that stat?
Well, it's not anywhere. No, it's not real.
Yes.
But that's what I was wondering. Is she dumb, or does she really know that that's not true, and she just assumed people would believe that it's real?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's inspirational. Like, why can't I sit on the Supreme Court?
Yes.
Because I knew that wasn't true. Mm-hmm. I could do a better job. Mm-hmm. But look, and then again, I agree with you. AOC, she could have gotten COVID anywhere. It's not necessarily a Florida thing. Mm-hmm. I got 2 New York COVIDs. There's really just not that in New York, and there's not that much we can really do. This stuff doesn't work. We're still trying to do the same stuff over and over again. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't surprise me that they'd want to make up things in order to try to keep it going. But why? Don't people like to live life?
Yeah, and also, I mean, I think that it's effectively the idea that the Omicron is everywhere. It killed the idea of a vaccine mandate. But I coined a phrase a while ago, what's the definition of insanity? Eating pickles in your underwear. I don't know where I went there. Am I talking to you now?
I don't know. I love pickles. And I always eat them in my underwear, but I didn't know why.
What? You could be Supreme Court Justice because you have crazy opinions too.
I think so.
Yes.
No, I actually do. And I think it's really scary the thought, first of all, and I'll get on AOC in a second, but the fact that she was supposed to be ruling on a decision, whether it's constitutional or not, to impose these national possible vaccination or testing mandates, and she doesn't even know the facts behind COVID. It's
scary.
Just awful. And I don't think she's dumb. I think that she actually believed what she said. I really honestly believe that she. So there you go. So I'm really, really faithful in. I'm sure that they're going to be making some really great decisions on mandating vaccines.
One of the things that she actually states is that I don't understand the distinction between federal and state powers.
Yeah,
How
crazy.
do you sit as the Supreme Court justice member and tell America that you don't understand the distinction between state and federal law?
That's why he's here. Because I wouldn't have thought of that. Joe, last word to you.
Well, like Judge Sotomayor, I'm also a wise Latina.
Yes.
And, you know,
Latinx. You're Latinx.
Latinx. I don't know where she got those numbers from, but she did say the other 15 judges agreed with her. So we have to give her that. I think AOC got this not when she was in Florida. I think she got it back at that gala event. She just had extremely long COVID that needed a couple of months to fully flower into the sniffles she currently is suffering from.
Yes, yes. Well, I hope that she feels better because, like, we're not like them. We're not going to dunk on her, but we're just pointing out the hypocrisies that tend to permeate this progressive wing of the party. How does that sound?
Great.
Thank you very much.
You're going to love it.
Yeah, really? That saved me? Excellent.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.